Nice. Robin Slim Show, we're back. We have Joe.
Yep, I'm here.
Joe from Cabin Nightmares. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Good. Your podcast, your podcast is like scary stories, correct?
Yeah, narration of true scary stories. Yep.
That's what I'm gonna ask, because I listen to a few of your shows. Like sometimes people submit stories, and sometimes they're your own.
Yeah, I started off I just wrote a couple of them to get started, and then I started getting submissions and Reddit stories, and it just took off from there.
Cool. And who's the one? Who do you have narrating for you? Is that a new thing?
I have Sir Kane narrations. I did a collab with, and Creepy Blonde Girl. I did a collaboration with too. So
okay,
I have 2 collabs on there. Yeah. So my newest video is a collab video, and I'm on the second part.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. You're from Illinois? Are you in Chicago?
Yeah, I'm right. I work in Chicago. I'm in the suburbs of Illinois, south suburbs. So
cool. What how long have you been doing the show for?
4 months, not even.
Oh wow,
I'm fresh. Yeah,
you seem to have a lot of episodes. I'm sorry, what's that?
I said I just hit 10,000 downloads the other day too. So, and I've only been doing this a couple months.
Congrats,
man! High five.
We gotta start doing scary stories.
Yeah, we do bedtime stories, but I guess they're not getting us anywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rob said you have a lot of episodes for only being on for 4 months.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I do. I upload on Mondays and Thursdays, and as often as I can. I mean, it don't take me long to make them or put them out. So, they're usually 1 or 2 stories, and it doesn't take me long. So I just submit them. I have about right now 17 already done that I haven't even put out yet.
Oh wow!
So I'm well ahead of it. I mean, I make them all day, or whenever I have time, because I have 2 kids. So. Kind of busy.
so now you're not reading these stories by verbatim. You're actually kind of putting it in on your own words, I guess, or talking about it.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah, I'll edit them up, if they send them to me, and I'll clean them up, and then I'll just narrate them, and
okay,
and just as simple as that. And then I'll add sound effects and music and stuff like that too.
Oh, okay. So you produce them basically.
Yeah, I have to edit them, and I have to do everything to them. So.
Awesome, man.
Are any from your own life? Because I thought so. I thought by listening, some of them were your own.
No, I actually have some of my own. I'll be happy to share with you guys if you want to hear some ones that I haven't even put out yet.
I would love to.
Do we got some creepy music?
I have.
No, you want to play some music?
Yeah, we're gonna play some music to start you off. Little intro.
Porn music. I don't know what kind of music I have.
X-Files.
No, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. I'll just go.
All right, no music.
No music. No. All right. Well, I worked at because obviously I've been working in Chicago, and I worked at this old hospital, and it was really old. It didn't even have sprinkler systems. It had hoses and fire extinguishers. I mean, that's how old it is.
Yeah.
And I am a boiler technician, so I maintain boilers and stuff like that. Pumps, seals, motors, all that.
Yeah.
And so the boiler room was probably the size of, say, like Walgreens. Okay.
Okay.
And and our office looks out. You can look out to the whole boiler room. And right next to our boiler room was the morgue. So it was the only wing of the hospital, and it was just the boiler room and the morgue. And the wall backed to the boiler room. So it was pretty creepy, just that, right out the gate like that.
Yeah, holy shit.
And I was on midnights, so I worked midnights by myself most of the time. I had a partner 2 days a week. And I get a call for the ER, and it's the only wing open is the ER. All the nurses are in their stations, all locked up. Everything, lights are off. Boiler room lights are off. And I come back from doing rounds or a call. I'm not sure what I had, and I walk into the boiler room, and there's this little girl standing right next to the boiler. And I completely froze. I didn't know what to do. I dropped my clipboard, and she was maybe 3 feet tall. She had curly black hair. She's wearing this blue dress, and I didn't know if it was real. I couldn't even scream or anything. It just completely shocked me.
Like paralysis.
And I go into the office, and all the computers are off. Everything's off. I have no power. It was just surreal experience for me.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, it was intense, man. And and we also had a penthouse, and it was right over the OR, the operating room, and there was only one elevator that went up there, and only thing up there is air handlers. And I saw this man walk by when I was doing rounds. He walked right by me, and I searched everywhere for this guy. I couldn't find him. It was creepy. That's another experience I had too.
I've had a few things like I wouldn't believe if someone else told me, but yeah, I've heard like little kids say shit and like nobody was there. Like I've had a couple things.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because my aunt had experience when she was younger that she forgot her scarf and she went upstairs and she said, I forgot my scarf. She said it out loud to herself and she heard her voice say, I got it. Just like that.
Wow. Holy shit.
That would have been it for me.
Wow. Fuck. Wow, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I have one buddy who picks up corpses for a funeral home, and he's just some of the stuff he said, man, like, just creepy.
Just like things he's experienced?
He's got to go get them. He's got to go get them, like, to pick them up, and just the dead weight of the body is just insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes, I didn't mention, but sometimes, because we were the only wing on the hospital, security would knock on the window and, do the lift motion to me, and I would have to go help them lift the bodies onto to put them in the coolers. So that's another part of the job I had too there. Yeah. I mean, there's no one around. So, they need help lifting a body. I would have to go in there and give them a hand. And, they're all sitting around talking. Hey, how's your weekend? I'm like, I got to get out of here.
I got to go take a shit.
This isn't like
Yeah.
I got a story it's not supernatural, but it always like kind of scared me when this guy told me. I knew this guy who used to work in a morgue, and he said this other dude that he worked with told him one day, and he looked at him and he goes, "I would kill you if it wasn't against the law." Yeah, like
wow. What about that guy? I think it was it in Virginia? I don't know. It was probably about 9-10 years ago now. He worked at a morgue and he was a funeral home or something, and they found like all the corpses on his property. He wasn't like putting them in the caskets, I guess, for closed caskets. He was like keeping them on his property. Like that was pretty fucking sick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Like, yeah, it was a while ago, but not that long ago. Like, yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Weren't they saving the casket? They would have the wake, put the bodies in them, and then afterwards they would take the bodies out and reuse the caskets and store the bodies.
I think so. Yes, I think so. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Fuck, man. What do you have a special episode, Joe, for Halloween? Do you have anything special planned, or is it just the regular stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm working on. I'm thinking about releasing maybe an episode every single day the week of Halloween, leading up to Halloween.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm gonna do one every single day till Halloween, and then obviously put one on Halloween too. But yeah, I mean, I always have stories coming in. I got clown stories, and the biggest one is like Bloody Mary or Slender Man. But people love those. Those are always just.
What was that a couple years ago too? Like, didn't a girl like kill a friend over some Slender Man shit? Yeah. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, they just took like a plea deal too a couple days ago. I think I read in the paper.
I thought so. Yeah. Oh.
Bloody Mary was a big thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, same here. I think.
Bloody Mary.
Oh,
and
it's still a big thing.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know that. That's crazy. The other thing that when I was a kid that was really big is like the witchcraft. Like all the girls were into like practicing witchcraft.
What was that store? Didn't we have a store around here like Charm the Company? It was all like like spooky candles and shit.
Yeah. just in time for Halloween. All these stories, I love them. I mean, you know what? I get so consumed with it. Like, cause I'm on Reddit looking for stories and people submit them to me. And sometimes I get so consumed over it that I have to like take a step back and put on like Impractical Jokers or like something I can just get my mind off of all this gruesome horror stuff.
Don't ever take any stories from Michael Nemeth. He's a real thief. There was a guy years ago. We actually had him on our show. He had a profile as a horror author, and then like, I don't know, a couple days later we started getting like mass emails that this guy was just stealing stuff off of like creepypasta and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay away from Jan Michael Nemeth. Jan Michael Vincent. I don't even know. Something like that. Something like that. He was a jerk.
Unless you are Michael Nemeth.
Yeah, no, you're not. No, I can tell by your voice.
Persona.
You're not Michael Nemeth. I know that. Or Mike Jolitz. Don't talk to Mike Jolitz, but that's another
Mike
story.
Jolitz has some very scary podcasts that he does.
Do you have any? Have you done any other podcasts, Joe, or do you have any other podcasts planned?
I did. You know what? I made another podcast. I don't do them anymore, but I did one called Daily Segment Podcast, and I only did 50 episodes, and it was pretty much just to just vent shit, just get everything out of there, family and marriage, whatever it is. I did.
Yeah.
And I made 50 episodes of it, and that was it. I was done. I pretty much pissed off my whole family making them. I mean, they hated me.
I think that's what I do every week. They're disappointed, my family.
Every time I put an episode out, I get calls on my phone saying, can you please take that down? I'm like, no.
What was more horrifying, your family stories or the horror stories?
Oh, God. About the same. I should put music in that one.
Yeah. Creepy noises in the background. Yeah.
I like that.
With some screams and stuff.
Yes.
It's hard finding sound effects. I'll tell you, I have probably 9 girl screams that I have to I keep finding more and more. It's so hard to find different screams to use in the videos.
Oh,
it really is.
I just use the same ones over and over.
Yeah, I started to. People were like, "Dude, I don't like that scream." I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'll find another one."
Wow.
And then now I have probably 9.
Well,
I should just get on the mic and let my kids scream into the microphone.
I was gonna say that, or you said you get 10,000 downloads an episode. You should just tell your fans that, hey, just send me screams.
Just you do better.
Yeah, you just scream, and then you just every episode, you throw one of their screams and not even tell them. They gotta get. Was that me? Is that my scream? Is that my buddy's scream?
I know.
I was gonna ask you, Joe. Do you have a book? It would probably be cool to compile a book of these stories. Or
I should. I'm just so new into this. I mean, 4 months ago, I'm just sitting on my couch playing with my kids, and then I'm such a fan of horror and narrations, and a lot of questions I get is well, why aren't you on YouTube? I get that a lot. Why aren't you on YouTube?
Really? See,
and I make my stories pretty quick, and they're I'm not going to go on YouTube. And then people watch an ad, and then I mean, you can kill my playlist pretty fast. And I have no intro and I have no outro. So as soon as you hit play with my shows, I mean, the story starts, and then the story ends. It's and then it goes right to the next one. So there's hey, welcome to Cabin Nightmares, everyone. And so they have to hear that 35 times over and over.
See, YouTube's would be the last thing I would suggest to somebody. It's it's a hard build. It's really tough building on YouTube.
Absolutely. I started on YouTube. I put a couple shows that I got maybe 70 subscribers, and then I was like, time for a podcast. And I just transferred all my media over to podcasting, audio drama, whatever they call it. It's weird calling it a podcast. It's audio drama, or they call it,
serial drama.
Yeah, or storytelling, narrations, or they have so many names for it. So if people ask, "Oh, how's your podcast?" I'm like, audio drama, podcast, whatever you want to call it.
AM writing, it's all of it. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
what else do you like to do for fun, dude? What do you Is Halloween your favorite holiday?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love Halloween. Well, I have 2 kids, 9 and 3.
Okay.
So pretty much, and I'm married, so all my free time pretty much goes with the kids, or I'm writing stories and, just doing every Father Day stuff. And then, I work midnights right now, so it's, it's kind of hard because I sleep all day.
You still work the night shift? Yeah.
Yeah, I am working night shift. I work downtown Chicago, dangerous drive in the world I have, so.
Do you let your kids watch horror movies?
No. I mean, they won't watch them anyways, but I would let them, sure. Because, I grew up with horror stuff, and, I'm a 90s kid, so pretty much my whole summer consists of a popsicle stick on Nickelodeon entertaining me, stickly, And we will watch, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Remember that show?
Oh, hell yeah, yep. I grew up in the 90s too, man, and it was all
so I would beg my parents to stay up and watch Are You Afraid of the Dark. I think it came in on 9:30, And I was like, please, can I stay able to watch? And then, halfway through it, I'm like, fuck this. I'm time for bed.
My sister was more into the horror movies than I was when a kid, but I've seen like Chucky 1,000 times because she would do this thing where she would watch a movie and then just play it again right after it was over. So it was Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, all the Scream movies over and over again.
Yeah.
There was this one Jack Frost with it was a
With
killer
snowman.
snowman. Yeah, the killer snowman.
Didn't the carrot rape a girl?
Yes.
In the bathtub? Yeah. Okay. Wasn't it who was the guy from fucking Spider-Man? Wasn't it him?
Oh, it might have been
Michael Keaton? Or no?
Oh, maybe. I think it was.
I think so, right? Wasn't it Michael Keaton as a rapist snowman? I think it was. I think it fucking was.
And the other thing too, back in the '90s, is I loved all the children's horror, like you said. Are You Afraid of the Dark? And they had Goosebumps,
See,
and then almost every other week there would be a new one. I couldn't even name them all, but it would a WB would come up with one that was just oh, this is gonna be a scary story anthology, and you would get 3 episodes, and then it would get canceled.
Did you watch the Goosebumps movie though? That was pretty cool with Jack Black.
Yes, yeah, I actually really like that. Yeah.
And it was
What's your favorite show on Nickelodeon from the '90s? If you could pick one.
That's a hard one.
See, I remember from the '80s, it was would you do that on television? And there was one other, but then I remember, wasn't Hey Dude? What was that? Was that '90s or I don't even know.
I think for '90s, I think Doug. I love Doug.
Doug was cool.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you?
What about Ren and Stimpy? Or that was Nick, right?
Yeah.
Well, Rocco's Modern Life. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
you go back and watch Rocco's Modern Life, and you're like, I can't believe this shit was on Nickelodeon. It is so fucked up.
It's coming back.
Is it all right?
Oh, just episodes where the characters' skins are coming off and shit.
Wow.
It was fucking crazy,
That
man.
is.
Yeah, it got rebooted. They're actually making new episodes of Rocco's Modern Life now. So
Cool. That's cool.
yeah, I mean that's we were always '90s shows. What about Pete and Pete? Or what about what is it, the other one with the camp?
Camp
Ottawana.
Ottawana. Yeah.
Salute your shorts.
Yeah, salute your shorts. Yep. Yeah, man. I remember this one. What the fuck was it called? It was this girl that could turn into a puddle, and it was on for a year.
That's a Raven?
No, it wasn't that so Raven. It was this girl, a truck of chemicals dumped on her, and ever since then she gets her name was Max. I think it might have been Max's World, or I think the character's name was Max. Yeah, and it turned into a little silver puddle, and that was
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
That was great.
Just to hide from bullies? What is that?
I don't know. It's such a weird
And make
show.
them slip of you?
Oh, that was a great show. I remember that.
And she could fuck with electricity, I guess, too, or something. I don't know.
Wow.
It was bizarre. Yeah. And then there was Carissa Explains It All. Yeah.
Yes, the guy he always came through the window. He never used the front door.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Oh yeah, what is? I remember all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh wow. What do they have now? What does Nickelodeon do anymore?
I don't even know. I was watching I was hanging out with my little cousin. He's 14, and they had
That's not
Nickelodeon
cool.
on. Well, I was hanging out with my older cousin, but my little cousin was there. I was waiting for my older cousin, so, whatever.
I went for my older, but I stayed for my younger.
But I think he had Nickelodeon on, and it was these two animal-looking dudes, and they're just singing zombie butts or something, and there's all
That's
these zombies
cool. I
showing
that.
their butts. I was I don't know what's going on
They
here.
have the new Ninja Turtles, which is cool. That I watch with my sons.
Yeah.
I don't watch anything else on there.
Yeah, that's a great show, Ninja Turtles.
Dude, that's what I'm gonna ask, Joe. Do you get your kids into the stuff you were into when you were a kid? Because that's a cool.
Oh, absolutely. They watch Home Alone, all those Christmas, The Great Outdoors. I let them watch, and
Nice.
all John Candy movies, and all the '90s movies that we all grew up on.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got my middle son into Gremlins this past summer. He loved that, and he's the one more that loves the older stuff. He loves the original Transformers and all the older '80s movies and stuff.
Yeah, do you see how Gremlins is when you watch it back? It's very scary now. If you when you watch it when you're older, you're like, whoa, what was I watching back
I don't
then?
know. I kind of find it like he was laughing, and I was a couple times I was like, "That's pretty creepy." That was pretty creepy, especially the ending when he just melts into a skeleton, like that.
Yeah,
pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just
Exactly.
laughing. He thought it was great. That's cool.
Great show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta get, because I bought it before the 2-pack came out. Before the Gremlins 1 and 2-pack came out. I just bought the first one. I was like, God damn, I should have waited for the 2-pack.
No, but the second and third one kind of sucked anyways.
They had a third?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It was pretty bad.
They had a third?
Yeah. It was absolutely horrible.
2 was alright. 2 was like gimmicky, but it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that's another thing I miss about like the 80s and the 90s with horror movies specifically is just like all the shitty sequels they throw out for like Wishmaster. Like the first Wishmaster was great, and then it was like Wishmaster 2, Wishmaster 3, Wishmaster 4, and the rest were all crap.
Yeah.
But it was still great. Leprechaun, the first Leprechaun was fucking great,
yes.
and then we went from like Leprechaun to Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yeah, Leprechaun in the Hood.
Hellraiser 17.
Yes.
Jason on the
But
moon.
that was still cool. Like I don't know. Like I miss that. Like they don't do that anymore. You know?
No.
Yeah, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah. What is your favorite horror
God.
movie, Joe?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What's your favorite horror movie of like all time?
Oh God, I'm a big Rob Zombie fan, so I'll go like Devil's Rejects, Halloween remake,
Yes.
and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, bro, that was amazing. I just love the not happy ending. I love like just being creeped out right to the end.
Yep, absolutely.
I never saw.
Great director.
I never saw his Halloween remake. Was it like better than the original? Was it a
So much.
tribute to the original?
Like, it was both. It was like
Absolutely way better. I mean, I would say way better.
He went deeper.
You know, it's great.
he went deeper into character. You saw Michael as a kid. Like you saw what made him become. Like I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, I never watched it. No.
I'm gonna kick you out of your own house.
I haven't seen it yet either.
You
but-
guys suck. Go home. No, dude, it was awesome. But I never saw the sequel that he redid. I heard the sequel wasn't as good.
No, I mean, you know, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I liked it.
House of a Thousand Corpses, though, that was amazing. And yeah, like I said, the first, like you said, Joe, the first Halloween remake was so good, so good that he did. Dude,
Yeah, it kind of makes the original look pretty bad now. You know,
Yeah.
if you rewatch it, it's like,
yeah. We have to wrap this up, Joe. I can't believe it went so fast. But where can everybody find you?
I'm on iHeartRadio, Cabin Nightmare Stories. I'm on iTunes, Cabin Nightmare Stories, Google Play, Cabin Nightmare Stories, and most of them are all linked to my website if you want to submit any stories or anything like that.
Nice, dude. All right, brother. Thanks for talking to us.
Oh,
Whoa!
I didn't mean to do that.
You did that? What a dick!
I don't know.
He's not my Jolitz. Stop!
I didn't mean
You guys
to do that.
You gotta separate you guys. It's Sleepy Lucas giving you cards. Fuck. Joe, we love you.
Love you, Joe. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you. It wasn't me, Joe. It was the ghost.
No, it was.